Hi, this is Michael Bosey again. I'm an advisor and content strategist, and this is part 3 in a series of exposing my business, just pulling back the curtain so you can see how this works. Brand new business, been doing it for 9 months, and I just thought that maybe by showing you my thought process, maybe that could help you with your own business. So in this part of the series, I want to talk about how I can help publishers. And I said in the first segment that I started out with a set of assumptions that because of a long career in publishing, I thought I could help authors, publishers, and entrepreneurs. And as it turns out, I think that I can't help publishers. This is an interesting realization for me. I've talked to folks, I have helped some, but I think as far as me building my business around what it is that I do, I don't think that I can help you. And here's why. The realization that I've had is that, my sweet spot is that I help folks build an audience, build a platform by using a content strategy. And one of the difficulties of that with publishers, even though they want to do this desperately, is that, and this is a big thing standing in the way, it's that people want to talk to a person, not to an entity, not to a brand, not to a publisher, not to a company. And I found that this is really hard to build an audience around such a brand. Now, of course, there are notable exceptions, and that's not impossible. It's just a lot more challenging to do that. So, when I talk to publishers, most of them say, hey, look, I know I need to be in the social space, I need to be connecting, I need to be trying to build relationships with the reader. Now, that's well and good. And if you can do that, that would be fantastic because, look, publishers made a huge mistake by ceding that relationship, the relationship with their end user, the reader, to bookstores. And this happened over a long period of time. They were happy to have that channel service that customer for them, but they know nothing about that end user. And now there's one bookstore. That didn't go exactly as planned, I would think. So think about that. That one bookstore now, and of course I'm talking about Amazon, and obviously, there's not one bookstore, but for all intents and purposes, there may as well be. Because that one bookstore understands everything about the customer, what they like, how long it takes for them to read a book, what their buying habits are, what their path to purchase is, how long they take to deliberate about a purchase, where they're getting their recommendations. They know everything. And publishers know nothing about the reader. This is crazy, right? So publishers are trying to get that relationship back, and it's really, really difficult. And the reason goes back to what I just said, which is just that most people are just not going to want to talk to a company. So I don't want to say stop calling me for help because I would like to continue to help you, but I would just say if you want my help, you've got to come with a new idea. It can't just be we're gonna get a Twitter account and just start spraying 20th century broadcast messages out there saying, hey, buy this new book, or we've got a new book by a great author. Build those relationships. So in my world, remember what I've said in the last segments is that I'm good at a couple things, right? If you need to build an audience and you're going to do that around content, a publisher is not in a bad position to do that. The one thing that I would say that would help would be to center that around an individual. So don't make it from your publishing company. Find someone there who can be a personality or a spokesperson, someone who's interesting, and you probably have that on staff, right? So that could be an editor, someone who does a particular list of books that has an interesting philosophy. There's tons of them in the industry. Pick one and maybe make that person the center of your brand. Could be the CEO. Could be, someone who, why he or she started the company. Something like that could be interesting and provide really good stories to connect with. Or even, say, a series editor, where someone has control over a series of books or in a particular genre. I'm sure they have an interesting story too. And a lot of these folks are probably doing this on their own. You just have to find a way to marry that with what you're doing. So, like I said, I don't want to say that I can't help publishers, but it feels like in trying to run this business that I'm running, if I'm trying to help people build a platform, build an audience, using a content strategy, publishers are there a little bit, but I think a lot of them are getting it wrong. And I think that I could help if all the things that I just said were things that you believed in too, and were willing to sort of add a person as the personality to your brand. Then I think you not only could you benefit, but I could help you with that. So this was part 2 in the series. Stay tuned for the next one, which is about entrepreneurs. Thank you.